always running away. Don't run away, run away. Morning came and went. You slept into the afternoon. Your tears upon my chest, those dreams. You've got to understand, you said, and I want to close my eyes. These words that burn a path unkind. Well, I recall myself praying for angels. I thought you were the answer, but the questions hang in the silence. Will you take me with you? Allison, where are you going to? You're like a child. When your guilt and grace come face to face, you give yourself away. Allison, what have you been through? What a mystery. You can't spend your days always running away. Don't run away, run away. Allison, yeah, sweet Allison. Oh, you're driving me crazy.
Oh, yeah. Boom, boom, boom. Episode 72, SGO Roar, mycitymymusic.com. We've got Eric, John, Veri, Andy Patalan is on the phone right now from Sponge, and I've got Danny Floyd in here. So this is for you guys. You know, we keep this audience. Okay, so
Andy, you there?
Andy, can you hear me?
Nope, I can hear him on the
Okay,
phone.
now what?
Hold on, Andy.
Oh, well, you didn't tell me that part.
Oh. Can you hear me, Andy?
Now, can you hear me? Andy?
Yes, I can.
There you are. Hi, Andy. How are you?
Good. How we all doing?
Oh, living the dream, man. Just waiting on you. You're the star of the hour.
Get out of here. What's going on over there? Paint me a picture since I'm on the phone. What do I not see if I be on the phone?
What do you not see? You see a studio. We've got
stripper pole, strippers.
Yep, hookers and blow all over the place. That's
All
we got.
right.
Yeah. You're missing out. See, you should have flown out here. Where are you, Andy?
Outside of Detroit.
Awesome. Very cool. Detroit Rock City?
Yeah, absolutely. You ever been?
Oh, shit, yeah.
So,
how did the video shoot go the other day? The Sponge had a video shoot, I think.
so Sponge is doing a video shoot. Is that what you guys are doing?
Yeah, we did a couple days ago. We did a shoot for a song off the new record.
You had the hookers and blow before we did. Is that what you're trying to say?
maybe years ago, but no, not this one.
Not in this video.
No.
Is this new songs or old songs or revamped songs, or what are you guys working on?
Brand new album. That'll be the first single off the record, called Stitch.
Very cool.
And and I don't. You know what? I don't have all the details on the release date, but it's coming out soon.
Very cool. Very cool. So are you gonna make an album out of this?
Yeah. Yep. There's a full length record. And like I said, the album's going to be called Lavatorium.
Very
So we shot the video in a bathroom, a women's bathroom.
Of course you did.
Did you go in by twos?
That's because the drum set would fit in the women's bathroom stall. It wouldn't fit in the men's stall. So
Was Jason playing drums on that one?
he was.
Oh, nice.
On that the video. Yep.
So is he still touring with Nugent, or is he with you guys full time, or what's?
Well, he's doing all the dates he can. Ted doesn't have any shows this year. He rescheduled his tour till next year. But we're actually gearing up here in about a week. We're going in the studio with Ted. I'm going to be recording his. It's the third record that I've recorded with him. So we start that pretty soon.
Very
Nice.
cool. Is Sponge gonna go out back on the road, or what are you guys doing?
You know, we are perpetually on the road. Even during the whole lockdown thing, we did shows in markets and cities and counties that would have music. And most of those were outside. You know, now that things are opening up, we're real busy this summer. Just about every weekend we have gigs.
Awesome. So Eric tells me you guys are gonna be in Chicago when the 26th.
The 26th. We're going up
26th?
for it. Yeah.
Very cool. That's awesome. When are you coming to St. Louis, man?
Not soon enough.
This is it. This is what we get. When was
Tell Eric to book the gig.
I can get you booked. When's the last time you played St. Louis?
December 11th.
Yeah. Yep.
Of last year?
Last year, before COVID,
Oh, that's right. That's
with
right.
the Nixons. They were out.
Well,
Yeah.
that's right. Very cool. That's awesome. You need to come back. You're way overdue.
I know.
Yeah. Yep. For sure.
That's why I had to go up there 4 times. What was I up there with you guys? 4 times?
I think so. That was at Del Mar Hall, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Del Mar. Yep. Yes. That's wow. And that's still.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Huh?
Brian, a divine sorrow. Really, Brian? Seriously?
No. So.
Hey, Brian.
Hey, Brian. I'm not answering.
Oh.
Brian, I'm on the air.
Oh, Andy. Jenny and Hoopty say hi. They're here.
Send it to voicemail.
I just did. I just answered and hung up on it.
All right.
He knows I'm
Do you hear
on
me,
the air.
Andy?
Why is he calling me?
Andy.
Yeah.
Oh, Jenny and Alex said hi. They're here.
Oh, cool. Hello. Hello.
Very cool. So, what? Give us a little bio. How long have you been with Sponge? It's not your first band. Are you married, single, kids? What are your plans for the future? Just give us something real quick.
Oh, yeah. Well, boy. Okay, Sponge. I've been in the band. I don't even know now. It might be 17 years or 15, 17 years.
That's
But
awesome.
I've been involved with the band from the very beginning. My brother and I recorded, I engineered, he co-produced all the records from the very beginning. So when it's kind of funny because when people say, "Are you original member?" I'm like, "Well, I've been there from the beginning, but
That's
I've only been in the
awesome.
band 17 years or whatever it's been." Yep.
That's very cool. So, what's the story behind the name? Besides, it's different.
It fit on the marquee.
It fit on the marquee.
Well, that's actually the story. The we had a gig. The band had a gig at a local place before there was an official name, and basically, Vinny went up to the bar owner and said, or the bar owner came up to Vinny and said, "What do you want me to put on the marquee?" And Vinny said, "Well, it's either the Electric Cattle Gods
Oh God.
or Sponge." And the bar owner said, "I don't have that many letters. It's Sponge."
That's awesome. That's so cool.
Just think what
Yeah,
it
yeah.
would have been if you had extra letters in the back.
See, every time I go to record with him, we spend so much time laughing. It's just like,
Speak up. We can't
I
hear
was
you. Go
telling
ahead.
Andy, when I'm up there with you, most time in the booth, we're just laughing our ass off, pretty much coming up with something.
Oh yeah, yeah, we have a ball.
It's he's got the same sense of humor.
Oh yeah, you can tell by your pictures on Facebook. I mean, it just looks like a riot. I mean, awesome. So, do you have kids? Do your kids play?
I do. I have 3 kids, married. Yeah, they did for a while. They played piano. I don't push them to do anything if they
Right.
want to. My oldest daughter took one of my guitars into her room and she started teaching herself some stuff. But I'm hoping for doctors and lawyers. But if they want to be musicians, that's fine.
Tired of being a starving musician, right?
Right? Yeah. Yep. Not
Well-
easy, but whatever they want to do, whatever they love to do, that's the best.
Well,
Yep.
that's cool that you have legacy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So they need to do both. Like
Right.
Like my
Well, yeah.
my ex is an attorney, but he loves playing bass. So the big joke is he's a bass player that moonlights as an attorney. So because he's got to support
you
his
know what?
habit.
I have a couple friends who are lawyer bass players. You believe it or not.
And they study their asses off. They're real smart about that kind of thing. They play very articulate and just the passion is just so it's amazing.
No Derek Small's
Yep.
Freeform Jazz Odyssey. Yeah, Andy, I was gonna get a Spinal Tap reference in.
Oh, of course.
Of course, who doesn't love that movie? Oh my gosh, can you imagine if
What
ever
movie
did a
is that?
sequel to
Spinal
that
Tap.
Spinal Tap?
Spinal Tap.
Yeah. We're not
Is that
doing-
You're
the
not
thing that
even
the girls
old
get?
enough to even know what Spinal Tap is, are you,
Oh,
Dan?
no.
Yeah, that's the thing
Oh.
that the girls get, right?
Yeah,
Where
that's what the girls get,
Like
yeah.
they take every member of the band takes a bass guitar and injects it into the spine of the.
No.
the girls.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
gonna
what
have to-
it is.
I'm gonna have
Oh
to
my
find Spinal
gosh.
The millennials-
You've never
I'm
seen Spinal
sorry.
Tap? You've never seen Spinal Tap?
Uh,
This goes to 11?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you
Oh.
gotta see it.
Oh, my God.
Did you hear that, Andy?
Yo, wow. Well, get on it. Tonight.
Never seen Spinal. Oh.
Is that some boomer crap? I mean,
No,
what do you
It's
no,
guys-
not
they're
boomer crap,
1970,
no.
1970.
I'll believe when I see
It's
it.
a cult
Is it
classic.
Oh,
cult
God.
It
classic?
is a cult classic.
Every band
yes.
member, everything that's happened to them, I guarantee you'll know someone that said that's happened to them.
It has, and it's such a parody of the whole music industry. It's amazing, and what's so sad about it, even though it's a parody, 90% of it's true.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
It really is.
Everything
I mean,
they said, every rock band was like, "Oh, that was written about us." No, he made it up, but it's true.
It
you
is
know.
so true. It is so true. So, do you write all the songs, Andy, or is it a collaboration?
No, we collaborate. Vinny writes most of the material. Now he's like the chief, songwriter, all the lyrics. But we collaborate. We have to throw ideas back and forth. But this record obviously written during COVID. Was pretty much mostly him on that one. Although we all played on it, but because we're all sheltered for a little while. But yeah, he's open to everything. We collaborate. And the funny thing about it, I don't know if you know much about Vinny. He's an amazing drummer.
Oh, yeah.
He played on the line.
Oh yeah, are you kidding? Who doesn't? I mean, he is amazing. He is.
Yeah.
His drums, when I was up there last time, his playing, I was like, holy shit.
So where are you playing in Chicago?
Oh goodness, it is called the. Hold on, let me see if I can.
Something social club. East Side Social Club, North Side Social Club, or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I'm close to it. It's just something social club because I remember.
Something social club. Anybody opening for you? Is it all you guys?
It's West Chicago, the WC Social Club.
There you go. The WC Social Club. Well, here, we got to give them one of these just to bring you guys in. Whoa, snaps. Very cool. So
Yeah, I'm not sure about the openers. I'm sure there are. There's some locals. We're not bringing anybody with us, so.
No. And then
Eric, why aren't you on that bill?
I don't know. That's I want to go with the Solid Frog thing when you guys dress up next time. And
There you go.
That's the best. But no, I don't know. I'll go out any day with you guys. That's for sure.
So who do you have a favorite, or do you have like an outstanding or like a badass story, or one of your favorite stories about anybody else that you've played with while you've been out there? I mean, you've been in this band for 17 years. So you played with everybody. Everybody.
We played.
Meaning we had our who we know in the business that are complete dicks before that conversation.
Well, I don't want
You know what?
Just
I'll go the opposite way. I'll go the guys that are really sweetheart.
Yeah.
How about that?
Let's do this.
Like Mark McGrath from Sugar Ray.
Oh, he is a sweetheart. He's a really nice man. He's very nice.
Yep.
He's
He's
very nice.
awesome. And also, we really buddied up with the guys from Lit on the road. Like, Kevin, the bass player, and I really hit it off and had a great time.
Right.
Nixon's.
Who else? Let's see.
The Nixons.
The Nixons are. Oh yeah, yep. Zach's amazing.
Yeah,
Super
Jesse.
sweet guy. Great, very talented.
Do you know the guys in Faster Pussycat?
Not well. No.
Oh yeah, well they're mainly California based. We got one of our local guys named Sam Bam Colton who's in that band. He's a prodigy. He's like 25 years old. He's amazing, but he's been in Faster Pussycat for a couple of years now, and they're going to be here, I think this month.
Got to get him to sign Andy's guitar.
There you go. So I didn't know if
did
you
you,
know or not. Super cool guys, really cool.
Kat, do you know about the Andy's guitar project that I have?
No, go ahead. Let's hear about it.
So I have it's a charity project that what I've done is I've taken one of my guitars and I've been handing it off to notable guitar players to not just sign, but actually they have to play it.
Right.
And it's got to be on video. And the guitar will be auctioned off for St. Jude. So all the proceeds that go to St. Jude Children's Hospital. And it's been a huge hit so far. I mean, I've had, I could start listing off, Ted Nugent, Patti Smith, Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick, Mark McGrath,
Satchel from
Art from Everclear,
Satchel.
on and on and on. If you want to go to andysguitar.com, I got all the videos and everything up there.
Steel Panther guitar player was on there.
Satchel.
So kind of like the old, like traveling dollar kind of thing. You're handing off to like.
It
all the
is.
clear-
That was the inspiration. Was
Nice
the
trying to
Where's
do
George
one
Dollar
on the
Bill / traveling pants.
Yeah. So maybe
That is so freaking awesome. That is great. How many people have signed it, played it? How many so far? How many do you have? Do you know?
I think there's 15 or 16 right now. I'm shooting. I want to shoot for a 5 or 6 more real big names, and then it's going to be pretty full. So
I gotta
then
get
we'll auction it
Springsteen in
off.
there.
That is so cool. That is freaking awesome. That is wow. That's a great idea.
You got any plans for when you finally get the guitar back?
Auction it for St. Jude.
Well,
He's auctioning it for St. Jude. So are you going to do this like when you do the auction? How are you going to organize that? Is it just going to be on Facebook, or is it going to be out there? You're going to do like a do a video thing, or what are you going to do? How are we?
Well, I've actually, I buddied up with St. Jude, and they're, all on board with this, and we talked about different ways of doing it. I mean, we could do a Christie's or a big high-profile auction, but they take such a big percentage.
Right.
So that I'm shopping around. I want to see if some of these companies want to do it because it's for charity.
Right.
That maybe they'll do it for charity and not take their normal cut or whatever. But we'll see.
Right.
It's a great cause.
That is freaking awesome. That is such a great idea. I hope that
Yeah.
maybe you could start something and put a tagline on there to pay it forward, and have other musicians do it. Not just guitar players. You got drummers. You can get a drum head and you could pass it around. It could be anything. Basses. I think that'd be
Picks,
freaking awesome.
strings, these types of things
Well,
as well, right?
Yeah.
There are a few other things in work. So as soon as this is done and rolls out and the template's done, then I got some exciting even outside of music. So it's pretty exciting.
Right. Does Marlo Thomas know about it?
I don't know.
You should message her because I know she's wide open to all that kind of good stuff. Since
Oh, nice.
her daddy's.
That's right, Danny Thomas.
I'm guessing she might.
Is she?
She
Yeah.
might know about this.
Yeah. Sometimes because she is who she is, she may not hear everything that people want to do for St. Jude. But I bet you, if you reached out to her, she would probably fast track it as far as and bypass that whole, the
Red tape
fee and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, I mean, St. Jude flew my wife and myself down to meet everybody there and take a tour of the hospital, and we stayed there a few nights. They had a big concert festival there, and so we're all set with them. It's just basically after the sale of it, just write the check to them. So
That is so cool.
Andy Patalan from Sponge.
Mickey's here. He's my co-host. Mickey, say hi, Mickey.
What's up, Mickey?
Wow, she usually tells me to shut up. She actually called me a co-host.
Yeah.
I'm doing good. How about you?
It's still early. Shut up, Mickey.
Good.
Dan was nervous about having to fill his solos on my stuff.
What now?
Dan was learning his solos on my stuff because Andy plays on all mine. And Dan was like, I gotta do his solos justice. So
Eric is saying. So I'm playing with Eric recently and got some pretty big shoes to fill with your lead work there on his album that you cut.
I want every note better be right.
Yeah.
Just a hang up before we start.
There's a no butcher sign on the wall.
No pressure on him now.
Yeah, that is freaking awesome. That is so great.
Andy, are you still streaming nowadays? Are you still making it up as you go?
Absolutely. Yep. I'm doing Wednesday nights. It's been over a year now. Wednesday nights, 8:00.
Where are you streaming? Just on your page, or is there?
I do Facebook, and then every few days I'll do an Instagram encore, and that's the gist of it there.
That's very cool. Randy Jackson does the same thing. From Zebra.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Yep.
he's a super sweet guy too.
Zebra.
Yeah, he
Who's
is.
behind the door?
Who's behind the door? And those three
I know, tell me
guys.
what you want.
Those three guys are still together.
And kicking ass.
Over 40 years. It's so awesome. They're from Louisiana,
Oh, yeah?
and they're
Awesome.
yeah, they're just great. They are supposed to come back to St. Louis and do a show hopefully this year, but we'll have to see, because it's just kind of a slow progression now with everything, starting to come back up. So, which is just great, but that is killer. So where do you
Yeah.
guys go after Chicago?
Okay, so this weekend we're in Pittsburgh. We go to Altoona, and then we're in Massachusetts. And then so next weekend is our Chicago trip. So we're out in let's see, where is it? Battle Creek, Michigan, Chicago. And so we're just doing weekend warrior stuff. We'll go out for 3 days to Savannah, Georgia. I think there's a big festival we're doing there in July 2nd or 3rd. So we're just we go out for 3 or 4 days, come back home, fly out for 3 or 4 days, come back home.
That is so cool. So, do you know? Does he know Cyrus? Do you know Cyrus? Does he know Cyrus?
No.
You don't know Cyrus? He's
No.
got his station is Hugs at WRGG out of Pennsylvania.
He's been the one that started playing my stuff out on the East Coast.
Oh, okay. So he's got a he wants to do a weekend event with all original bands, and he keeps up with all these local original bands who haven't been signed yet. And it's right now I think he's got 40 bands on the roster, and we're supposed to do it one weekend I think in Pennsylvania. Is that right?
I think so. Yeah, I think it's the 6th, 17th, and 18th or something like that. September.
Is it September? Is that when it is?
I think so.
Yeah. So I've got a band that I've been managing. It's 3 young kids. They're freaking phenomenal. They're 20 years old. They just graduated, but they've got something. They've got
they're
it.
killer.
And they're hopefully I'm gonna be able to take them
what are they
with,
called?
huh?
What are they called?
Rosemary. Yeah, they're
From
really
Rosemary.
good.
Rosemary is from
Rosemary is
I
the,
didn't
is the
know
name
that.
of their band. I don't know the story behind that name, but it's something that they like,
Yeah, just two
and
girls they know,
they,
Rosemary.
they fought for it, and they wanted it. So that's just it's just the way it is, and it has no reflection on
All the other spices
three
were
guys.
taken. I do know that.
I'm not sure. Well, and their logo was a red rose, so
Right.
but they spell it like the spice. So but yeah, they're really good.
The spice of life.
They threw one song out there. They recorded it and threw it out there, and it's on a chart in Nashville, and it's like in the top 5. It's been climbing, and I was just like, wow. I mean, they just really have it. Right now, we're working on stage presence because I have my main singer, guitar player who keeps looking down, and my bass player is just now learning harmonies. So, I don't
But
know.
they're nailing it.
They are nailing it, but yeah.
I cannot,
It's,
I
it's
still
nails.
cannot sing
It's
harmony.
there. It's there.
It is. Do you have any advice for some of these young kids or newer bands up and coming as far as did you have any vices or any issues when you first started playing, the first time in front of a crowd? I mean, do you remember, Andy?
No, I don't remember anything. That's why I'm still doing it. I forgot all the bad stuff. No.
Well, I've told him, I've said, use the sunglasses trick, put sunglasses on, put a full-length mirror in front of yourself, blindfold yourself, stop looking down at your,
Or like me, put clown makeup on.
Yeah, there you go.
Elvis
Clown
clown
makeup,
makeup.
right? There you go.
Just get yourself naked.
A lot of
Sure,
bands
maybe.
will ask if I'm producing them or working on them, and we'll get into suggestions. It's really a la carte because some people don't need a certain suggestion. I could give you
A
a
la
blank
carte, I like that.
suggestion of how I did it or what makes sense. But some bands have cut all the corners and they're already doing stuff the right way, and then I could give them advice on what maybe they're lacking or what they're what to look out for. But just have fun. You know what I mean? You could get the crowd
You got it.
and can tell if you're having fun or at least enjoying it. You don't have to be smiling and giggling, but
That's what
they
I
can
told
tell
them.
if
You
you
can
like-
be scared to death, but have fun doing it, and it won't look like it.
Right. And
yeah.
and then of course the greatest compliment is when, your fans, your biggest fans are singing your songs back to you.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
Gives you a
Yep.
tone.
I
Yep.
mean, that
It's
is
the greatest
just
feeling in the world.
that is just to me is just awesome. I think David Grohl said something about that, but it's just like, wow. I mean, that has to be the best high ever to have people
Yep.
singing
Oh,
your
absolutely.
songs back to you,
Yep. It's one of my most favorite moments was many years ago, early '90s. I woke up to my alarm clock going off. The radio is the alarm clock, and it was one of my songs. I was like, "Holy crap!" Like that was
What?
cool.
Oh my gosh. How
Yeah.
surreal was that? Oh my
Yeah.
God. Wow, that is killer.
Oh man.
Yep.
I'm jelly sickle over here.
So Eric, show me. What do you show me
I gotta
pictures
put my
of?
MP3
Solid
on
frog.
my phone to do that.
What is it?
Solid frog.
Solid Frog. Tell me about Solid
Yeah.
Frog. What is that?
I was showing them the costumes, like the Village People outfit, the Gold LeMay. I don't have the Bee Gees one yet. I gotta get
Yeah.
Hayes to sing
So what
it.
is Solid Frog?
sounds
Well,
fun.
it's my old band. It's been around for ages. And basically, we would just do anything creative for the live shows. There wasn't one thing we would wear or do. It would be we try to shock people and be just and I don't mean shock like blood and gore, but like do something. Like I built a TV set for one show that was about just a little bit wider than the drum set, and it looked like a big TV set. and we all crammed ourselves in it and played the whole set inside this TV set.
Oh my gosh, that is hilarious. That is so
So,
cool. That is
Yeah,
so
think-
cool.
And how much marijuana was smoked to come up with this brilliant idea? That's
you know, believe
brilliant.
it or not, I don't think we did any of that. Just the
I'm kidding.
liquid
I'm
vice
kidding.
was our
That,
vice.
that,
Yeah.
that is, it's an insanely good idea.
just like when what's his name? Oh, I can't think of the late night host who had Metallica and they were playing
Late
on
night host?
they were playing on the baby instruments. What's his name?
Yes.
Very,
Yeah.
oh,
Yep.
Fallon.
Yeah, Fallon.
Yep.
That was freaking
Yep.
I
awesome.
didn't catch that.
They're playing on kid instruments.
Kazoos and stuff.
Yeah, it was hilarious. Metallica.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's funny.
That is so
I'm
cool.
I'm still mad at Jeff. I told him I was going to quit music and just dress like the Village People, go to a tribute show, and he sends me a picture that says, "Been there, done it." I'm like, oh, God.
If you ever give up music, you can still continue to do
Well,
that.
they went on
you know.
stage dressed as the Village People and played.
That's brilliant.
I was like, man.
So at what
think-
so you've been with this band for 17 years. Was there ever a point when you thought I don't want to do this anymore, or was it ever the opposite where you said, "Oh man, this is it. I'm here." I mean, was there one thing in your life or in any kind of event that was a turning point that said, "This is what I'm going to do forever"?
You know, I really from the first backyard party, you know, when the band started playing and everyone's kind of like was gathered around, but then they realized that we were really stuck, so they all left. From that moment, it was both a high of like, oh my God, look at all these people here to see us. I'm going to do this forever. Then everyone walked away from the stage because we stuck and were really loud. That also made me want to do it forever and get better. I was like, okay, I know what it can be like. And then within a minute, it was like, oh, this sucks. I got to get better quick.
My backyard one didn't have actual instruments. I think I had a broom, and they were an imaginary sold-out show every weekend.
That's
Of
right.
invisible
Yeah.
people. So at least you had people there who came and left.
That is so cool.
They showed up at least once.
I love
That's
playing-
awesome.
I love playing with them.
Yeah. So what is it you like to play? I mean, what is it you like the most about playing with them? Is it just the camaraderie of it?
It sounds like
Easy?
fun so far. I mean,
Like when we're in the studio and I'll come up, I'll send him rough demos of my stuff. And he's like, okay, pick whatever songs, and I go up there and he goes, okay, what do you want to do with lead? I'm like, whatever you want. And I just sit there and watch him create on the fly, you
Right.
know, and we do it. And,
that's cool.
and especially like harmony and backup vocals. Like I said, I'll come in the next morning sometime and he's already there recording stuff, and I'm like, oh, cool. And he's like, want to hear it? I'm like, I trust you. Whatever you.
That is awesome. You're that
Whatever you-
talented, huh? That's
yeah.
very cool. You're that in sync and that in tune to music.
And you have the ability to surrender like that to let's see what we do. Let's see what
Well,
happens.
it's also we speak the same language. It's like go da 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 da. Okay, well, da 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 da.
Oh,
da.
I speak musician. How about
Yeah.
da 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 da
Yeah.
da?
So some people are like, oh, let's do the thirds. I'm like, what?
But isn't it also true that the stuff you do on the fly, right, where you're not overthinking it and over tweaking it and you know doing too much to it, it comes out the best.
I call it magic.
Many times. Yep.
I mean,
Yeah.
their studio there has such a vibe in it. It's on a 150-year-old horse farm. The family still lives there, and
Is this where I called you and interrupted you at?
yeah, the loft up is
That sounds
same.
great.
Yeah, I mean,
That
and it's
sounds
I
great.
think all the Sponge albums were done there. Bunch of other stuff. Taproot, I know, was done there.
Very cool.
Yeah, they were coming in last time we were leaving, I think. But I don't know who else. But it's just the history, the vibe, the feel of it. It's just fucking amazing, you know. And then you go outside and barbecue for everybody. It's like, oh,
Very cool. That
Sounds
is
good.
awesome.
I'll have that.
How many albums does Sponge have out?
I think this is the 9th studio record, and we've got 3 or 4 live records, greatest hits, a couple few EPs. So,
What was your favorite venue to play at?
Boy, that's a good one. Let's see.
not CBGBs.
CBGB's?
No.
Not CBGB's. I heard that was not all that.
It's a shithole.
CBGB's is a glorified Bernard pub down on Lafayette.
No, go ahead.
Like Trees in Dallas.
Trees.
Masquerade in Atlanta is always good.
Trees was cool.
What was
I
your
really
favorite,
liked
Andy?
I'm thinking about my favorite. We always have a blast in Detroit. You know what I mean? Like anytime if we played what used to be called Pine Knob, was a classic shed outside.
Mm-hmm.
But the small little dumpy places are so much fun too. You know, the places that no one would have known about.
Yeah, I saw you guys at the Catalyst in Santa Cruz, California, some umpteen million years ago, I think. I can't remember the date.
We have a
Is that
place
correct?
here.
Do you remember that?
I don't.
Okay.
That was umpteen million years ago. He can't remember
No,
that.
it
It had to be
was
150
that
years
good.
ago, something like that.
We have a place here. It's called Charlotte Pub, and it's got the best sound. RFT, one of our local rags here, voted it the best dive bar in St. Louis, and that's a compliment.
It's not even. It is, but it's not even.
It is.
It is not a
All,
dive.
and my tagline is all the best musicians play there, and they do. And the sound is just impeccable, and it's just it's a dive bar, but
The room.
it's just
It's
got
the
the
room.
best ambiance.
lights.
It's just got
Yep.
the best feel. You walk in there, and it's a melting pot of people, and the music is just
And it's dark.
phenomenal.
It's dark.
I don't know what it is about that place. I think you could be the worst band in town and go in there and play, and you're going to
It's
sound
the
like
staff.
a million,
It's the sound.
$1
It's the
million.
lighting.
No, they remember Mississippi Nights. I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it was like that. You know what I mean? All the lights weren't on.
Andy,
when
you
walk
remember
in there.
Mississippi Nights down here, don't you, on the river?
Right on. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was
Mississippi Nights, Muddy Waters, Kennedy's.
Yep, Kennedy's.
All those cool
I talked
places.
to
Kennedy's. Oh my God. I had so many good times there. I can't remember.
Kennedy's the other day. The old manager from Kennedy's.
I don't know. But
Yeah.
yeah, we had a Mississippi Nights reunion. We did a couple shows where we had some of the older bands play, or come back out and replay, I should say, their old songs, which was a really cool at Delmar
That was
Hall,
fun.
matter of fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish we could
That's
just.
cool.
I know. I just hate the fact that even though St. Louis has got a great music community,
Shannon.
we don't have.
Mississippi Nights and Kennedy.
We just don't have. We don't have the original. We don't have any venues that play original music exclusively like we used to.
That are still there.
We've probably only got a
Charlotte
few
does it.
left. Charlotte does it. Diamond Music Hall, and then Pops. I think that's about. Oh, and Red Flag. But otherwise, it's just not like it used to be, where you can go to the landing and listen to original
Yeah,
music, where we
every
were
other-
starving to
every
listen to it.
other
Or
bar.
just a place that stayed in business that long, like a Troubadours or a
Cicero's was around forever.
Cicero's was so much
But
fun.
peop-
The old one where they had the beam in the middle. I can't tell you. I
75
almost
draft
knocked myself
beers.
out on that. Remember the original
You never
Cicero's?
Yes.
And had the downstairs, you had the beam running
It's-
across the stage, and you hit your
It's-
head on it. God.
Yeah, it's closed. When,
You know,
Yeah.
what
when
is
the owner
another
died.
really good sounding room that most people aren't aware of in this town is Lemon's Restaurant.
Lemons.
Yeah, and then when I was in
That sounds
when I was
like-
playing with Dead Celebrities and when I was doing the punk rock thing, the basement is a venue, and the sound down there was just fucking unbelievable.
Better than the duck room? Because the duck
No,
room's
but
in
like
the basement.
like the duck room.
Yeah.
It's just that when I say Lemon's Restaurant, people go, "Really? It's a venue?" It is.
Well, they
It
were at
sounds great.
Delmar Hall. Delmar Hall was one of the nicer ones. I hadn't been down there in a while. And
Same
when
here.
they were there with the Nixons, I was backstage. And,
Yeah, union people
I was
on the
like,
job.
man. But
That
it was
an
just nice. It
amazing
was just nice,
experience.
though. Well,
So Andy, if I were to book you here in St. Louis, when
you book him here in St.
when
Louis.
would be the best time to book you?
Please come to
here?
St.
Are you
Louis.
going to be closer to St. Louis in this year, or
You know,
are we talking about next year?
No, I don't know that the agent might be working on some stuff, and obviously because we do things. If anything east of the Mississippi, we'll typically drive, and then out west we'll fly. So that would be a
Yeah,
drive
I've
one.
got
We'd have to
nothing
connect
east
it
of the
with something.
Mississippi
Right.
ever.
Typically, but yeah, like I said, the agent might be working on something that I don't know about yet. So.
Cool. That would be awesome.
I hope so.
Maybe we
Yeah.
can play, Eric.
I would like
I
to
play
get
with
out
them
east.
anytime. Well, it's like I've already had 3 of the members play. I'm pretty much on everything. 2 of them played on everything I've had.
Would you let Eric
So-
play if you came to St. Louis, Andy?
You can
Would
open
you
up.
let his
Yeah.
band open up for you?
Well,
We're called.
that pretty much is my band. Andy's played lead guitar on everything I've had.
Really? Oh
And
wow,
the drummer,
man, it
the
sounds
drummer
great.
Jason Hartless has played on drums on everything I've had, except for the last song, which actually the singer for Sponge played on Vinny.
Okay, that's
So,
on the.
and
I got
Chris,
one.
I have the
send me a
bass
little
player
clip
already
of it.
nailed down. So yeah, that's my band right there.
Kick ass.
There
man.
you go.
There you go.
Sponge is
That's
on
awesome.
every single recorded cassette that I have from the '90s. It's on there, And I
Oh, God.
did not know the name of the band, and I got so many killer favorite songs. And until these guys came in to visit us the last time, I did not know I did not know the name of the band of all these songs I was talking about. Yeah, it's like that's Sponge, and I was like, wow.
Really? Isn't that pitiful?
Well, you miss things when you acquire music. You know what I mean? When it doesn't have a name on it. And I don't know the names of my favorite songs by Sponge, but I'm looking them up now and trying to figure them out. Yeah, it's
Obviously.
cool.
Mickey didn't have the right marquee, apparently, right? That's how they got the name.
Yeah.
They had the guy with the marquee didn't have enough letters for. What was the name of it? What were you going to call it
Electric
first?
Cattle God.
The Electric Cattle Gods.
I'm glad you didn't do that.
Oh, are you serious? That's cold too. But this is what I was telling them kids.
He
It
would've
doesn't matter.
remembered that.
It doesn't matter what your name is right now. You're 15 years old. If you get signed, they're gonna make you change that anyway. You know.
Yeah.
All right, so which Sponge song do you want me to load up so we can play it on our break?
Treat Me Wrong.
What?
Do you,
We have
do
a
you want
request from
a
Eric.
song that people are familiar with, or like a new one?
I like Treat Me Wrong. Still my favorite Sponge.
Treat
song.
Me Wrong. Okay, there's one.
Yeah. Do you have a baby that's just like, man?
Yeah, one
wow.
of your new ones would be great. Is it on YouTube?
No, not yet. Not from the new record. Although the latest record, you could play one from there. That would be pretty sweet.
Okay, which one?
Let's see. Let me think.
What year was that released? Where can I find it? Is it out yet?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
looking.
the Beer Sessions is the latest one.
Okay.
Yeah, Jump While the House is on Fire. The first one on the Beer Sessions.
Awesome.
Okay, awesome.
Okay, guys.
That is killer.
Yeah, there's
Kick-ass.
a video for that one on YouTube. You can find it there, I think, too. I believe it is.
Very cool. That is so great. Well, Andy, I appreciate you calling in tonight. You're just freaking
Oh,
awesome.
Yeah, very cool. Nice to meet you.
And
too.
we're gonna road trip
I'll see you on
next
the 26th.
weekend. Yes, that sounds like a blast. I got to come up there
For
now.
having me.
Where's that at on the 26th?
Chicago. Road trip.
Yeah, I mean that's a $15 train ride up there.
Yeah.
Bar cars,
$25 round trip.
sleeper
Killer.
cars
That's
are,
awesome.
during the daytime.
Cool.
stuff.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Andy. Andy Patalan from Sponge.
All right, thank you, brother.
Woo, 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 woo.
Great job.
Thank you so much.
Later.
I'm writing his number down.
It would appear now as I have the gavel.
What? Oh no.
You got any walnuts?
Yeah, I love
What?
it. I love recording with them.
That
The
is awesome.
Nutcracker is showing up.
The Nutcracker Sweet.
All right, Mickey, what have you been doing?
What have I been doing? Masticating several times a day.
Really? Seriously?
Seriously, I am obsessed with masticating.
Is that right?
It's a fact.
What's
I have put on
masticating?
about masticating is chewing your food like the proper amount of times. It's eating.
Oh,
Who decides?
It just sounds so dirty. You know what I mean?
Who decides how much how many times you how many chew
How many-
Yeah, let me try that again.
Shake it off.
Yeah, who decides what that amount is? How much to chew your food or whatever it is. Who decides that?
Well, I guess that all depends on your dental situation. But I tend to, with what I'm working with, I tend to chew my food at least 100 times before I swallow it.
I
Because
can't believe it.
I have dental issues, obviously, and I for years was just swallowing whole pieces of steak, and it fucked me up. So
With
I've
all your
actually been
talking.
counting how many times I actually chew my food. That's what I've been up to, and writing songs.
Of course.
and that's
And
good.
right.
And keeping the Dirty King thing going.
Right.
Yeah.
Speaking of songs, Dan, you ready to play?
I suppose.
You ready
Rock.
to sing?
I suppose.
All right, you guys do that.
We don't want to
I'm
put
gonna
you on the
load up
spot.
some
Oh wait, yeah, we
songs.
do.
What have you been doing in Dirty Kings? You got anything going? Or, like
Yeah.
an album coming out?
Yeah, I've got well, I can't talk about it, but when we go off camera, I can. But it's coming up soon. Probably this summer definitely.
I hope
And
so.
Kat's got a couple songs that I sent her that are YouTube videos that you can pull my music off of, so we don't have to listen to two songs for 2 years.
Well, that's your phone. Okay.
Broken?
I'll get it right. Man, that's fucking awesome. Man, your voice is so unique to it, an individual to itself. I love it.
Thank you.
And I get so much out of hearing you guys do this, man, because it's got this
Well, I see
classic,
I see the table rising over there, so.
right? Tone boner.
That's right.
It's a tone boner. But really, in all honesty, I I get this Americana feeling. I get this good vibe from it, and at the same time, you know, it's so unique and interesting that I mean, it's almost like watching Tom Waits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's really good. I enjoy it every time I hear it. Yep.
Very cool.
It's been a long year with COVID and stuff, and thankfully that kind of gave me the time to go up and record and get all of it done. I think
Me too.
Got 10 done. And,
That's a lot.
Well, yeah, all of them are going to be released as originals, they're all original except for one where me and Andy ripped off every 80s song we could think of.
On purpose.
Well, no, yeah, pretty much. It's for a friend of
It's
mine
okay if
died,
you do it on purpose.
A couple other friends passed away, so I remember the time. I didn't say it until I got sent it to you. But, I mean, the lead guitar solo is just, we always tease people, how many songs can you pick out of the 80s out of it? No one's got it right yet, but it's always more than they think.
Right.
Under what name are you going to release this under?
Right now it's looking like My Revenge Undeclared. I'm not going to use my name, but I think that's Chris, the bass player, is in Seattle, and drummer Fitz, that's in, right now he's in Puerto Vallarta. And with COVID and everybody getting back in the country, it's been kind of rough, but I think that's what we're going to go with right now.
Very cool. That's awesome.
I'll tell you what I'd like to hear in the near future is I don't know. It's so personable, you know, to talk to you and to listen to you play. And not many people do it anymore. I mean, the last one I think I heard do it like a storyteller's was like Dave Matthews. But a storyteller's type thing. You got stories, bro. You got real rich history, and that go directly into a lot of these songs, right? So, man, not an unplugged, but like a storyteller's where you got a live audience and you're doing what you're doing here, you know, but live. And
I've got some shows. The one in Pennsylvania, I got that. I think I have some coming up out west.
What part of Pennsylvania?
This is going to be in the Gettysburg area, I think.
Okay.
And then I've got, I think I've got.
Well, when you're up there, say hello to my friends up there in South Philly.
Portland, I think. So I'm kind of going to be everywhere. I think we hit 26 states during the last 8 months already. So.
My friends
Are you going with him, Dan?
Dan goes where the vibe goes.
Management first. You get my
See what she
passport
says.
Yeah,
He's talking about his wife.
I would love to have Dan out with me.
Your wife, the CEO.
They all, yeah, that's how.
Happy wife, happy life.
Yes,
Exactly.
it's the same with mine. It's,
That's right.
my wife kind of runs, you know, she says go, you know, whatever, but she's there with me. She hates.
I do that
she
too,
hates
but I
going-
don't
she
have
hates
luck.
going
So.
over with me, so it's just, you know, it's like work.
Get my Les Paul smashed across my head in my sleep or something.
Oh my God, yeah. Hell hath no
One thing
fury.
about going on the road, Jenny can tell you where Salvation Army is in every damn city we've been to.
Those are the best places. Resale is the only way to go. That's
How about
where you
how
wanna
about
go.
a Salvation Army tour?
She can book that, trust me.
Nothing wrong with that.
That'd be
Like
cool.
all the
Yeah, well, you know what I
bands
mean.
in a nation, like hop on kind of like Warped Tour, like Salvation Army tours.
Well, right. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I do charity work. I mean, most of I did before COVID was charity. You know, donating my time or whatever show. That'd be a great place to do it.
Sure. Okay. Go ahead.
We did a
What's the other
BFW tour once, and it was
one? No, I want you
lucrative
guys to do
and
another one. Then we'll take a break.
raised
and
a
then
lot of
we'll,
money for that.
I'll play their song. We'll go over.
real quick here.
What?
How did you get that shirt to stick around that long? How old is it?
I don't know. I have 2 CBGB shirts too.
I've got one, but it's thin, so thin I could.
You actually know
It's almost clear. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know about you. I just feel good listening to this shit. I'm not kidding. I feel good.
I feel good.
How do you feel?
I knew that I would.
Listen to
Awesome.
that.
Are you kidding? They're freaking killer.
It makes you feel good, man.
Eric John
You know,
Berry
that's what
and-
music's supposed to do.
Eric John Veri and Danny Floyd here in the studio. Live as opposed to dead.
Live in the flesh.
And we're going to
Calm
take
down,
a break.
ladies.
We're going to listen to 2 songs from Sponge. We had Andy Patalan on the phone earlier, which
Yeah, that
was
was
freaking
cool.
awesome. So he's great. He's great. So we're going to start off with a little House is on Fire. And then you said you
Treat me
wanted-
wrong.
Treat Me Wrong. Yes, we're going to download this
Treat
one.
me wrong.
So we
It's so much fun.
episode 72 STL Roar, mycitymymusic.com.
My city, my
I'll be right
music.
back. Boom.
Yes, I was always fit, yeah, I was never alone. Looking back after all these years of real and not fiction. How did I know? Everybody did find
blame. I'm tired of the rat race, tired of the game. I'm tired of the picture in the same old frame. I want a new set of problems. I want a new set of problems. I want a new set of problems, cause these old ones are wearing me out. Well, now I'm tired of all these bills and I'm tired of being broke. I'm tired of being the butt of everybody's joke. I'm tired of my job, I'm tired of my life. I'm tired of my girlfriend and I'm tired of my wife. I want a new set of problems. I want a new set of problems. I want a new set of problems, cause these old ones are wearing me out. As a rule, a man's a fool. When it's hot, he wants it cool. When it's cool, he wants it hot. Always wanting what is not now. I like to spend some money, hand over fist, make up for all the fun that I missed. I like to quit thinking that life ain't fair, to live my life without a care. I want a new set of problems. I want a new set of problems. I want a new set of problems, cause these old ones are wearing me out. I want a new set of problems. I want a new set of problems. I want a new set of problems, cause these old ones are wearing me out. I want a new set of problems,
Yes, ma'am.
cause these old ones are wearing me out.
You take your time. Yep, yep. What's up, guys? What's happening?
I gotta do that again. We weren't on. Episode 72, STO Roar, MyCityMyMusic.com. We have Chris Eakes on the phone.
What's up, guys?
Yeah. That's your audience.
Sweet. My adoring fans, I love it. I love it.
We just played 2 Sponge songs. I don't know if you heard it or not, but
Oh, of course.
of course.
I don't miss an episode. Come on now.
Good answer. Good
Uh-huh.
answer. Where's she going?
Oh, she was going to get Dan and then.
Oh, you guys coming in? Chris Eakes is on the
Dan,
phone.
Dan.
Dan,
Chris is on the phone.
have a seat.
Oh, sure.
You know Chris?
Thank you. Let me in out
Yeah,
the
he did
cold.
meet Chris. I tried to get Dan.
Soon.
Dan wasn't able to go to the studio.
Oh, over December?
No,
Yes.
this is December. Chris was on the first two other songs we did.
Cool.
And then this last time, it was just me and Chris were there. The time in December, we had Megan Paulette and we had some of the guys from Yuga Digga.
Cool.
Yeah, Scott and Tom were awesome. It was awesome to collaborate with a bunch of different people and see how the writing process really evolves in the studio, which is just, it's mind blowing to watch a bunch of musicians get together in a room and just start playing stuff and see what happens.
Well, you last time sometimes we're in the studio, me and Andy were in the control booth telling you were doing the harmonies in there. And he's like, do something different, and you all of a sudden you came out with that high part at the end. I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
We were
Yeah,
like, "Man,
I
you
remember
see
the
both
quote.
jumping
He was like,
around
if it
and-
keeps getting better, I'm just going to keep recording it. So you just keep going. I was like, all right, well, that's never happened before. So let's roll with it.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So Chris, where are you calling from?
Right now I'm in Florida, but I'm originally from Buffalo, but I live in Seattle. So the
Very-
trifecta of evil.
Very cool. Very cool. So what are you working on right now? Are you doing your own thing? Are you just with one band, or what's going on? What projects are you involved in?
Yes.
Yes.
I've got an original project that I started back in New York with Jeff Shaw and Andy Hassler eons ago called the Electric Watermelon Band. It's hysterical that they had the electric in their name with Sponge previously. Apparently, we found the guy that had the marquee signs,
Right.
so we were able to use the full name. So Electric Watermelon, yeah, we had out a 6-song EP a while back. And that's actually how I ended up meeting Eric, was through that 6-song EP made its way into that Hugs with Cyrus. at WRGG.
Right.
And then from there, it just snowballed into another local, Gary Hicker from out in Seattle, the Incredible Edibles, mentioned to Eric, hey, this guy likes Sponge me. And then out of nowhere, Eric messages me, and then after that, we're sitting in a studio in Detroit.
He was on plane for Detroit.
That is awesome. Very cool. Very cool.
That was in December. Yeah, he flew in December, and we were
Yep.
there last month, I guess.
So what is your background? A quick bio where you started, as far
Sure.
as your
Sure.
first band, all that good stuff.
Yeah, I've been doing music about 25 years. Since I've been in school, I started off in musical theater and then started off in bands after that. Did a country band, Southbound, back in New York for a few years with some family members. Did some cover music there. A couple solo stuff on my own, but for the most part, I like collaborating. I like to, like I say, see the evolution of a song take place in studio with just different ideas, different people, different walks of music, all coming together and making something unique.
Isn't it amazing? Somebody will walk in and say, "Hey, I got this new song," and then
Yep.
they'll play it or they'll explain it for like 5 minutes, and then everybody says, "Oh, let's do this," and then all of a sudden that song has evolved into something that is like everybody owns because
Sure.
everybody has
Yep.
put their hands in it or whatever. It's so cool.
Besides his playing ability, his vocal range, I was like, holy. I mean, if you have a copy, I think I sent you a copy of Sometimes. If you play that, that's actually the singer for Sponge on drums, Andy from Sponge on guitar, and him.
I like how
Chris
they
is
bounce
playing
around
bass,
like that.
But he sings, and at the end, the last chorus, going into it, he just nails it. Like, holy shit.
So you got a range.
They gave me
huh?
Jack Daniels and they let me uncork. Like I had no choice but to just let it fly. So it was like, all right, let's see what happens. And I'm very proud of the work that we did there. Absolutely. It was
And
a
when
lot
you
of
say
fun.
Jack Daniels, you mean like actual whiskey or like the effect that I have for my vocals?
If you recorded the log, Jack Daniels is
It's a staple.
Yeah.
It's a staple.
It's the what did he call it? The juice. It's the juice.
It's the delicious juice.
Yeah.
The guys, I said, can you pick up a bottle on the way into the studio? And I thought they'd pick up a little bottle. They showed up with like gallons.
Because
and,
it's so
and straws,
freaking
right? Lots of
delicious.
straws.
Yeah, it was
Yep.
I love
two
bourbon.
coolers of beer with like 4 different kinds of beer in each one. I'm like going, you guys in Pittsburgh, you don't drink much, do you?
I'm waiting for the Jack Daniels beer. Do they have it yet?
Ooh.
Whether they take the beer and they age it in the Jack Daniels, or they take the Jack Daniels and they
That's
age
not-
it in the beer.
I don't know. Aged beer smells like CBGB's bathroom memory. But
Yeah, you don't want to age beer
Right.
too much.
Yeah.
Really.
Well, no, then you go blind if it's too old. You know,
Why
my friend has
ruin
those
such a
Billy
pure thing
Billy
like
Carter
whiskey?
beers, and he's like, "Man, I'm gonna tap into them." I was like, "You're nuts."
yeah, if you can play sometimes.
I'll find it. Sometimes, okay,
Yeah.
awesome. So, what do you like to do the most? Play, sing, a little of both, write, or just all of it?
All of it, definitely. I'm a multi-instrumentalist by trade, if you will, but singing's where my passion's at. I just love it. I really do. It makes me happy, and it seems to make other people happy. I do like cover tunes all summer. I'm booked out
Fun.
west with a bunch of different stuff for that. But
What might that list consist of? I mean, you pick your favorites, or are you just doing what people want to hear, or what would that be if I went to go here? You do covers.
Generally, like for me, Chris Cornell is like a vocal icon.
Oh my God, I
So-
sound just like him in my shower. It's a sold-out show every night.
Yep. No, I absolutely. I look up to the styling that he had and the
Oh
tone
my
that he
God,
had.
man.
So that's a lot of the stuff that I do. But the premise of my shows are it's an all request show. So if the customers want to hear, Brown Eyed Girl for the 300th time that night, they write it on a $100 bill, they stick it in my tip
I
jar,
think there's
and I play it.
there's
for
signs in every venue in this town. Like they used to say, "Don't give Janis Joplin drugs." There's a sign that says, "No brown-eyed girl."
Or
Yeah.
Mustang Sally.
I would say there was a band in New York where I'm from that was called No Mustang Sally, and they religiously refused to play it.
When you're doing your show and people request Sponge, does it kind of feel weird now?
It does. It's that's part of the wildest part. Like I can remember being a kid listening to Sponge on MTV when they actually played music.
Right.
And
I remember
it was
that.
amazing because I got to meet the guy that I got to watch, on TV. I got to meet Vinny. I got to listen to him play drums and watch, and it was very surreal as a musician to look up to these people and then all of a sudden to meet them and
Yeah,
not
kind of
only
like
to
when
meet
I
them,
met Chris Cornell.
but to find that they're human.
Right.
There's no massive egos. They put their pants on one leg at a time. The only difference is they
Maybe.
make gold records.
Oh,
That is
nice,
awesome.
Nice, cowbell
You like that,
reference there. Nice.
Needs more cowbell.
Always.
I put my pants on one leg at a time. No different
Boom.
when there's my pants on.
You like it?
That's right. So, where are you playing? When's your next show? What are you doing?
I think I'm outside of Seattle at Mosquito Fleet Winery when I get back up there. A couple wineries up there. I get around. I'm going to be doing a couple Oregon shows. I've got a show down in Cali.
Oregon, say hello to the fine people of Eakes Vitus while you're up there.
Oh, yes. So I'll have to look that up for
That's
sure.
where your good whiskey will come from.
Absolutely. I love whiskey.
So you're going to be at the show in September. That's Cyrus or Steve, whatever you want to call him.
I can neither confirm nor deny that the Electric Watermelon Band or Chris Eakes may possibly show up, but let's just say history might be made. So we'll leave it up as that.
That's awesome. Very cool. Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go out on a limb and say history will be made.
He's going to be doing a double bill then.
Yep. Sometimes I got to bring more than one instrument. Sometimes we bring guitars, sometimes we bring basses, sometimes we bring both.
That's awesome. Just bring your electric cowbell, tambourine,
That's
and
right.
triangle. That's all you need. Right?
Yeah, electric triangle is a necessity for these tunes. Absolutely.
It is, definitely, for sure. For sure.
Yeah. But he's somebody I love playing with because he's just like, we got it, and just go in and just ideas come, try this and try the vocal. Because, like Mickey, you were saying, my vocals are kind of the way they are, and I'm not vocally trained, but he is.
Oh, no, but it's so sweet to the ear. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
And that's,
yeah,
all my
yeah.
favorite singers are like that. Tom Petty,
Like a lot of times I can't
Neil
hear,
Young.
I'm listening, because when we record, I'll put it on my phone, I'll listen to it, and then when I get home, I'll put it on, my studio speakers, and I'm like, wow, I didn't even know they were doing that, and all of a sudden I'll hear, Chris is, I'm like, holy shit, he's fucking phenomenal stuff.
Appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure. It's
awesome.
good stuff to write with. Like the evolution that happens, I don't know, to kind of give a little behind the scenes peek, if you will.
Yes.
Eric sends out the song to whoever he's going to have in collaboration with, and then we kind of all just feedback on it, and then we meet. And like what happened with that first one with Megan and Tom and Scott from Iga Digga, we met and made these two songs, and it was just the song that was sent to us was a completely different beast from the song that was recorded.
collaboration
Well,
right there.
the funny
That's
thing
the
was-
magic.
The funny thing was with
Yes.
that one is that lead singer Tom from Iga Digga was there. And they're like hard rock.
Right.
We said we need something different. We want to do a call and response thing on this chorus.
The word was
And
sensitive.
Megan,
We need a
wanted Megan to sing,
sensitive
but she's got a
line.
hell of a voice, and we could come on. Tom goes, I got this. And he wrote this down, and he hands it to Megan. Goes, sing this. And I look at Tom. You wrote this? He goes, when in doubt, pinky out. I'm like, oh god. it's like so nailed this. And I gotta give that song. I don't think you have, but she nailed it. I was looking at Tom and going, what the hell? Where did you come up with this stuff from? It was brilliant.
When you guys are in the studio, I mean, are you coming up with all these ideas
On the fly?
On the fly,
Absolutely.
Is there? Do you surrender yourself to your producer like I do?
Andy,
Do you do any of that?
Andy produces.
I would say that's the
Nobody
benefit of
knows how to
having
sing.
such an experienced
Because that's
producer.
gold when your producer
When it-
ear is so good.
But there's been times when Andy's tried something, and I've got video. Like, no, dude.
This
like
who
this,
we
like
were
this.
speaking with earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we did one song where it's like I was playing the lead riff like this, and he goes, "Why don't you play it?" Because I don't play lead. But then I ended up doing the first part of the lead, and then he did the second part. But
I made the
you know,
mistake
but
of
I'll
saying
go-
I
it's
don't.
like,
I
it's like we
can't
start
play
speaking
lead.
musician, go da da da, because I'll hear it in my head. And it's like one of those things as a musician, when it's right and you're in a room with guys and you're playing, and it's right, everyone gets that look like, it's fucking right.
That's the magic I'm
And you
speaking
know
of.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the cool thing.
It's the
about it.
goosebump. The goosebumps.
It
You
is.
don't
That's
have
what it's
to even
supposed
look.
to
You just
do.
know.
That's what music's supposed to
Yeah.
do.
That's what brings the song to life, and that's what makes the band more cohesive when you're all involved in it,
Yep.
versus taking whatever's written on that piece
Absolutely.
of paper or whatever it is it's written on or in somebody's head, and then you collaborate and throw all this at it, and it's like, wow, we just created this awesome
Yeah,
song.
the song
and
will tell you what it needs, and it'll tell you when it's ready. And
Yeah.
that's-
Yep.
And the problem with doing that too is, as musicians, it was like, oh, do you like it? You're never happy with, oh man, I should have done
Well,
this.
art is never
But-
truly finished.
yeah,
It has to be
but it's,
abandoned at
but
some
it-
point.
It comes out so great because all three of us are like, we were sitting in there listening to it. It's like the song sometimes, like we're looking at it, because I kept telling, and we had a thing. I said on that song, I said there should be a break somewhere. And he cut it out of the mix, but on the thing, there's a guitar little lick left by accident. Didn't know it.
Oh,
By
those
total
happy little
accident.
accidents
Yeah.
like Bob
Yes.
Rossi painting.
And then we did like the reverse snare thing on parts.
Here
of
we
it.
have
It
a
was like,
reverse snare, and it lives right here by the water. And
But,
here's
it's
and
like
there's a little
on some
guitar.
songs, I was doing the high riff on that song too, and Andy's like, "That's not gonna work." I'm
It's-
like, "Yes, it will. Trust me."
It's
We
like
did it,
making
and it
soup, is
worked.
it not? You know what I mean?
you know.
And that's one of the benefits of having such an experienced producer in studio too, like Andy, is having somebody
Key.
that is not only a fantastic musician and theory wise, but like has the ear to go, that doesn't sound right,
I can tell
and he
when
puts
he
it
likes it
out
'cause he
there,
starts nodding his
and then
head
our
as he
egos
does it,
all
you know.
get it in check and say, okay, well, sure, let's
Yep,
take it
and
as
then,
advice.
and then gets presented to you in a way that, I mean, it's something that you all came up with, and he'll say, well, how about your idea seen from this angle or heard from fully around your head as opposed to just, you know, in front of you on two sides.
What happens is when I send it out, I'll send like 6 songs. I'll say pick 2 or 3, whatever, and I'll say, you know, and sometimes I'll go up there and he goes, well, I cut this out, I cut this, shorten this, and sometimes I'll be, no, that's got to stay in, or yeah, that's right, you know, and we'll shorten it or keep the same. And
Oh yeah.
we'll leave
When they
it.
go through your trash bin of songs and
I
come up with
have
something
I-
you're like, what?
Yeah, I have so many. You know, there's some I like that nobody likes. I don't really care, but I
Right.
like them. And I've got some songs that are you wouldn't expect, but it's like, you know, you go up there and it's like they sound, you know, like I've got some that I love from up there, but I also have an acoustic version that I did in my room that's her favorite one. So you know, it's just hit or miss, but getting up there with that feel, it's like I said, sometimes I'll come in the next morning because we'll go for 8 hours, you know, whatever, and I'll leave, go back to the hotel, and come back. And he's already there working on backup. I'll see the microphone.
That's
I'm
that's
doing
awesome.
backup vocals, and
That you
I
had that
won't
much
even
time.
Listen to what he's got done until he starts playing.
The
back.
8 hours. I mean, I
Last time, Chris, what we did, 10.5 hours the first day, and like,
California.
Close to that. I think both days almost 10 and a half.
yeah.
I ended up with producers who would be like, all right, well, that's 20 minutes. Well, now we take an hour break and we do 20 minutes
No,
again. And I'm like,
when
I don't like this song
sadly,
anymore.
Sadly, when Andy starts doing his lead, because he'll do it at the console, there's a couch right there, I'll fall asleep and I'll wake up when he's finishing. Every
He sure does.
Every damn time.
I've seen it. I got
Well,
pictures to
they
prove it.
say our ears.
I fall asleep.
They say our ears adjust naturally, you know, like mix things from our, the signal from our brain. And the guy tried to explain to me that after, I think he was taking it too extreme, but he said after 20 minutes, it all sounds good. He said, for instance, take the first Black Sabbath album and the last Black Sabbath album and just listen to a couple seconds of it, and you'll say, well, the last one sounds freaking amazing and the first one sounds dated. But he said after 20 minutes of listening to either one of them, your ears and your mind mixes it, and you can't tell the difference.
Yeah,
Sure.
up there, he's like, I'm my own.
Is that
I'm my
cockamamie
own
or is that
spirit.
true?
No, it's
Probably a little. It's probably a little bit
Little
of
of
both.
both?
Yeah, because certain songs, they're always going to be in your head a certain way. It's kind of like, you know, I mean, I grew up with albums, and you know, I've listened to
God bless 'em.
songs. Yeah, and I mean, I listen to every song on every album. You know, flip it over and listen to it and memorize every song, and then no matter what, like there's a song that's been in my head since I was a kid. It's Brandy by Looking Glass, and I had the 45, and that song in my head, I always hear it a certain way the first time I heard it, and that's the only way I hear it. And when I hear somebody do it different or a little bit, you know, off key or whatever, it's like, no, you're doing it wrong.
Yep.
But it's in
That's
my head
not
that
normal.
way. You know, so
You're right.
But that's also the true testament of an artist. When an artist can actually take a song that you're so accustomed to, like you say, Brandy,
Right.
and change it to
Chris,
where it touches you specifically.
I gotta say this, Chris. What song was I playing in the studio up there on the guitar last time?
was it Brandy?
Yeah.
Shut up. This
Remember?
This was meant to happen.
It was Brandy. Cause
Or we've been
he's
here
like, oh
before.
my God, that's Brandy. I'm like, yep. And I was like, name this tune.
Deja
A lot
wow.
of people don't even know the
That's
artist.
kick-ass.
I know.
I love that. I don't. That's just one of those songs.
We're gonna
to
be
me that I
friends for a
never-
long time.
that I never get sick of. Do you have a song in your head? I mean, even if it's a cover or one of your own that you just never get sick of, no matter how many times they play it.
Oh, I don't know. I'm pretty much sick of all my songs by the time it goes from,
You
the
only
first
have
studio
3.
session to the last one. It's like, I don't like them anymore. Next. 13,000 times later, you know. But I'm kidding.
So what was your inspiration, Chris, when you were when you started playing music, or you know, as far as that you know got you into it and said, this is what I want to do? Like, do you have
Sure.
a go-to song, or where did you start?
Yeah, applause.
Right.
That's what got me into it. Getting the
And the
getting on
girls?
stage,
And the girl.
not even the girls, because I was like on stage in like 6th grade doing musicals and stuff, and that
Right.
applause gave me such a rush
Right.
that no drug could compare. No one
Oh
could
yeah,
compare.
no, that nothing
It's
in
such
comparison.
a rush.
Right.
And honestly, after that, I was like, oh, so I can do this, it's fun. And then after I got into adulthood and realized I can do it professionally,
Right.
it just kind of folds one into the other. But it's a matter of you got to be dedicated to the craft.
Oh yeah,
Right.
and you could. I mean, my guitar sat in the corner of my room for God knows how long before I picked it up. I lied to a girl, told her I knew how to play. She came over, I winged it, and she said it was awesome, and I never put it down.
Yep.
What was
Absolutely.
like I talked about before? What about when the crowd sings back to you one of your songs?
Oh, that's the best. I have one tune that I put out a little bit back called "Wait a While,"
Yeah.
and in my area it gets a lot of good response. So the
Very
people start
cool.
singing it back, and it's one of those moments where you can step back and let other people sing your song to you. It's one of the most humbling and honoring things that
Yep.
they cared enough to learn it, and they care enough to show you that they learned it. Like
And they're
that's
looking
huge.
right at you,
Yeah,
you know,
that's-
like they're in their
Exactly.
bedroom
There's eye
singing with the
contact
hairbrush. You know
involved,
what I mean?
There's sweat involved. It's a very personal thing. So it's a very big honor. It's a humbling thing to have that done. Absolutely.
Definitely an aha moment for sure. I get chills when I think about it. I just think that is so
Take
cool.
on
So
Yep.
that is
Aha
so
moment.
awesome. Did you want to? So what is your favorite venue that you played at? Do you have a favorite venue that you played at over
Oh
the years?
man.
Keep 'em coming.
For New York State, it would be Club Infinity. For Texas, it would be the Rustic, and for Washington, man, that's a tough one. There's so many of them. Olympic Oyster House, Casey's Bar and Grill. There's so many great venues out west. But honestly, I don't have a favorite in Washington yet, I guess. But the Rustic in Houston was amazing. It's a half indoor, half outdoor, huge arena type size place. And then Club
Texas is
Infinity
good.
back in New York was like the line dancing country bar that you could just pack the floor playing
Really?
the same
Maybe I should
1-4-5-1 country
maybe I should
tunes
hit that
every
with my,
night.
my country music. I'm doing an entire country album of all REO Speedwagon songs, and I'm not sure
Nice.
where to pop off with it. You know what I mean?
He is not. Don't listen
Where
to
my
him.
demographic is going to be, and I'm serious as a heart attack.
I won't rain on anybody's parade, man. If you want to do Janis Joplin with all sevenths and do it in a jazzy way, that's on you, man. If you make somebody
That's
happy
that.
doing
You know,
it, who
that'd be
cares?
like me. You know, my Chris Cornell in the shower stays in the shower. The great vocalist, I would. But if I ever did, you're absolutely correct. I agree.
So what is your next project, Chris? What are you up to?
To light a fire under Eric's ass and get us out playing.
Right, there you go. There you go.
That is my goal.
Some stuff happened today, so but hopefully that's in the works. So I just had to.
Sweet.
Our manager did
It's great. I trust him. We have a good partnership as
That's
far
important.
as music goes. So there's nothing but love here for him and the music that he writes, and I'm very thankful that he allows me to
That
collaborate
trust
with
that
him
you
on
speak
this.
of is, you know, that's key, and it's, you know, it's
Yep.
a lot to ask of someone these days to, you know, give you for you to give them your trust, and
Yeah.
when you got it, it's gold. Hang on to that.
Definitely.
Yep. A song's a child, man. If somebody allows you to put some influence into their child,
Right.
Be honored, be humbled, and
Absolutely.
take the most of the situation.
Of course, you know, and by saying that, has happened to me, and I'm also blamed for every kid's first cuss word. They're like, say mommy, say daddy, say mommy, fuck, Mickey.
So it sounds like I got to get you guys booked here in St. Louis, right? Is that what you're
Yeah,
I think
man.
that
If
I'm
you build
hinting.
it, they will come.
Yeah, right? That'd be
Absolutely.
If you
awesome.
book it, they will come. That is correct.
That is true. That is definitely true. Yeah, one thing about St. Louis, we don't get tired of music, that's for sure. We
Like I said, we get over those for Sponge, so we'll be.
yeah, why not? For
As
sure.
I said half our band's there.
Yeah, Sponge did very well here.
Well, yeah, they did, but I've known. I told Vinny, when he's in the studio, we were talking. It's like that's when he played here. We were talking about Mississippi Nights, and I was like, I just moved here, and I was living in Gentry's Lane. I was like, you guys and the guys from Letters to Cleo were in my apartment.
What did that cost back then?
He's like,
I'm curious.
He's like, I don't remember much of those days. I'm like, well, me neither, but I remember that because I lived right there. So all
Right.
the bands. I remember me and Steve Ewing went down, and the guys from the Beat were down. He was Beat. We ended up taking him to Kennedy's and did open mic night. He played drums. I sang for him. I was looking over and going, He's the guitar and bass player for Finding Cannibals in English Beat. It's kind of surreal. You know?
Very cool. That is awesome.
It's cool.
So did you ever get to play with or meet one of your idols that you always wanted to play with or got to play with
I don't
or any of that?
Kinda. Vinny has been Vinny from Sponge. That's the kind of surreal part of it. Like being able to have a writing credit with him and watch him drum in studio. The man came in and slapped us both up and was like, "Hello, fellow rock stars." There was no "I'm better than you" attitude by any means. He came in, he did his job, and it was like,
So
that's
this
fucking
was
awesome.
more like
So
like a mentor.
Yeah,
so to speak.
it's
Yeah,
like the mentor coming in and being able to teach the student directly, and I got to watch the man just sit down and work and do his thing, and then
be amazed.
A lot of people don't know the song Plowed they had, their big hit. He was a drummer on that. It's not the video guys in the video you see. It's actually,
Really?
I think one of them was there.
he's got a lot of
Andy
drum
played
credits
on
too.
it,
He's
and,
worth looking up.
Tim
I mean, he's a
Paddle-
Drummer,
fantastic.
I've always
fantastic
given
musician.
drummers credit,
Well,
and I'm looking at a
Vinny-
lot up through a lot of
Vinny
this, and
also-
that
Vinny played on a lot of Kid Rock stuff.
him and what Ringo Starr. I mean, come on.
But nobody knows. a lot
Who
of
gets
people don't
drum
know
credits?
Vinny's
That's
a
great.
drummer. You know, he played on a lot of Kid Rock stuff. I think.
I've always
Fred
given
Evans,
drummers
he's-
credits on all my
But
songs
he's a
because
singer. Everyone thinks of him as a singer. He's a hell of a showman.
The-
You know,
the-
they
the
all are.
hardest
Him and
working
Andy
job
both. I
in
mean,
the-
they're
in
all-
the-
and Tim and all the guys.
I think for his vocal, what really stood out with me with being like one of those icons for me was that he changed the vocal from like the Eddie Vedder, Lane Staley, Scott Stapp type, tongue lift to more of a jaw drop, feel it and throw it out there type vocal.
Jaw
At
drop.
the time, it really is, and it's
Also,
more of a
rod
cheap
reel out
singing.
there and reel him in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
No, he
and
didn't. Go ahead.
oh no, it's okay. I was just saying,
No.
it's interesting to see how he changed the style of vocals and bridged a very big gap in that time frame for music, for alternative music especially.
Because there was a lot of that going on. I mean, especially like you mentioned Lane Staley when he stopped making records. I started hearing a lot of new music coming out that was very reminiscent of that, and the same thing with Pearl Jam when they went on hiatus for a long time. There was a lot of that coming. It was like record companies. It seemed like they had to keep selling that everybody was kind of doing
The tongue
something
lift.
reminiscent.
You needed to do
Yes,
the tongue lift to
exactly.
get signed, basically.
Yeah, but that's what when you're creating your own music, you can have your influences, and that's where you break the
Sure.
mold. And
Right, Perry
you
Farrell.
take a little bit of
Bingo.
this, a little bit of that, and then you throw it out there because that is your sound.
And
But
again,
it's
it's
just a
usually the
compliment to
sound.
the
The
other.
new sound that pops out is a guy who probably had to struggle to get anybody to, a record company to really land something, some positive reinforcement on, like Tom Petty's voice. And I mentioned Perry Farrell. I mean, how many other bands
Yeah.
did those guys sing for? Was starting out. You know what I mean? Neil Young. I love it.
Absolutely.
And my parents were annoyed by it, and it was golden sweetness in my ear. You know what I mean? And it broke the sound of whatever was out before that.
Right.
Oh, absolutely. If we all sounded like Frank Sinatra, only one person would sell albums.
Exactly.
But if we all sound like
Frank
us
Sinatra.
individually, we'll each sell our own albums.
Well,
Right.
I mean, it's amazing. There's so much original music out there where people are copying other bands, which is a great nod and a great compliment. But they're not creating their own sound.
And how much
And
of that is
that's
major
what-
label
I mean,
influence to do that?
I've said this once before. We need more new music, more I mean, Rush was probably the biggest change of all music,
Again.
considering the rock and roll, and what we were usually
Sure.
listening to, the classic rock, and then Rush came out. I remember I was in high school and I ran to school and told my friends, listen to these guys, and my friends
Sure.
were like, they suck, and I said, you don't know what you're talking about. These three guys are from Canada. Their drums are octagon shaped. They're gonna go
They're from
somewhere.
Canada. That means their
And
gold
it's
records
just
are like 9 times platinum
No.
here with the population.
No, I mean, it's just the fact that these three guys had such a great killer sound,
Yeah.
a unique sound that just grabbed everybody.
And they were
You
completely
it's
straight
like,
edge.
yeah, they weren't going to make it. Wow.
That's the question. People
Seriously?
always ask me, what do you sound like? What do you listen to?
Right.
Well, I listen to the Clash, the Sex Pistols, New Order, Depeche Mode, and I definitely don't sound like that.
Right.
It's like,
People
what do
ask me
you sound
what-
like? I'm like, I have no idea. What am I? Alternative? Am I rock? Am I?
Right. What kind of music do I listen to? Good music.
I can honestly tell you, I'm never in the country album once in my life. So I don't know. People go, what do you listen to now? I still
It's
listen
interesting to
stuff
know.
I did.
I ask
just
people what's in
write.
your player
That's it.
before you left the house. I'm just curious to know what the last
What
thing
I
people listen
listened
to
before I
is.
left the house was First cover songs. Actually, surprisingly enough, it was Looking Glass.
I've been listening to the time lately.
And Tom Petty. American.
Clutch was the last thing I listened to on the YouTube. Ghoul Wrangler, and in my CD player, a UFO CD actually.
Wow.
And I'm not taking it out anytime soon. It's so
bands-
old and
I like bands like
brilliant.
Marillion, you know,
Was that?
Marillion.
Oh yeah.
So, a lot of people don't know who they are, and like just the real I listen to a lot of synth stuff like Depeche Mode, and just
Yeah.
New Order. But that's not-
KMFDM.
Joy Division,
I'd never
listened to-
I'd
Joy
never get
Division,
sick of
I
listening to
listened
that.
a lot last week too. Back in Joy Division. Doing that.
Joy Division, man. God, what a great band.
So, Chris, what would be your advice to some of these newer bands or younger kids that are up and coming, as far as they play and do everything, and some of our newer artists, I mean, they are very advanced when it comes to their sound. I mean, there's some kids in high school sound like they're in their 30s or 40s the way they sing and way they play, which is freaking awesome. But how do they sustain that? How do they keep that going instead of just, being a flash in the pan, or, we need more original music, so we have more covers, right?
Absolutely,
So,
absolutely. The same thing I
what
tell
would
my
be
son
your
Michael, who's a
advice?
musician.
What would be your
I would
advice?
say, I would tell any musician the same thing I tell my son Michael. I'd say, find people who share the same belief that you do when it comes to the music.
Right.
Don't fight somebody to try to make them believe in your music.
Right.
Find the people that believe in it, and then write with them. Get the longevity, establish it. Like, you listen to Andy; they've been together for over 20 years,
Right.
in the scene somehow. But that collaborate, or that cohesiveness,
That
Oh, yeah.
glow
is
in
a
the dark.
gel that you cannot get.
Glow.
Doing this, I don't know. I think I know a couple, maybe two people's parents that were like, "Oh yeah, that's a good occupation. Go for that." other than that, everyone will tell you you're fucking crazy. You're stupid.
Well, I was smart enough to
My
marry a
mom-
teacher,
my
so
mom
I have
used to say,
stable
"You're never
income."
gonna make it."
There you go.
I used to love calling her and saying, "Hey, I'm doing it." It's just to piss her off.
Right, loud, obnoxious,
Well,
pisses
no,
off parents.
just
Rock
tell
and
them,
roll.
that you're never gonna make it. And even, it's
Thank
funny.
you for
It's
telling
funny,
me
my
that, I would
other
say.
friend, I don't remember. It might have been Andy that told me this, or
What was it?
I think it was Andy. Didn't Andy tell us when he got his gold record, his mom or somebody asked, "Well, what are you gonna do now?"
Yeah.
Somebody
Like, what's
told me
next?
that.
That's
One of
hilarious.
our friends. It was either Andy or it might have been
Well, you know what? There's something that could be said about that. Now that you said that, the first thing that popped into my head was,
How do you top
what are
that?
you going to do now? Once you if you made it, I never liked that term. Yeah, we're going to make it, because I
What
thought
is
that
make it?
myself.
There's-
Once you make it, then what is
there
it?
are so many bands out there.
Keep
that you might
making
never
it.
heard of, but
Keep
they make
making,
very
I like
living
that.
Touring, and people love their stuff. So
That's
anyway,
it.
People,
You've made
bands
it.
That, bands that get on, licensing stuff.
I've always thought that I would really connect with one person. Like,
stadiums to
I
make
was
it.
seriously connect with them through my music. They really identified with it. Just one that I felt like I've made it. You know?
Right. Well, you
And it
just
would
gotta keep-
continue to make me
No, it's-
continue.
I always tell people if something I wrote helps somebody through a rough time,
Or maybe not
it
feel
makes-
alone in the
if it
world.
Makes them smile. Then I made a difference in somebody's life. I'll take it for the win.
That's
Right,
why
well,
I
you
said
just-
just one.
That's simple. Just one.
You have to just keep
one, man,
reinventing
yeah.
yourself. So Chris, how did you, because you have a great voice, how did you create, or how did you make your voice different? I mean, you had a lot of influences. You said you like Chris Cornell.
Yep,
how
yep.
did you find your way as
Well,
far
that's
as
it. You
your
had- I mean, you do
sound?
have to
How did you
find
do it?
Sure, the Chris Eakes sound. That's an undefinable thing, honestly. It's
Interesting.
how to describe it. I
Well,
take
no,
my
you just
style
summed it up,
from
right?
How did you, when
everything
you
from
realize?
You just summed it
Yep.
up. It's the easiest thing in the world to do, and the hardest thing to do in the world is you find your own voice.
Right, but how did
Yeah.
how did you know when you're like, oh my God, that's it, that's my sound, that's it, nobody else can touch it, like Harley Davidson,
Or
it's,
do
it's
you ever think that?
trademark,
In the studio,
blah blah blah.
when you sang the
Sure,
chorus,
I actually can identify that time.
Yeah.
It was at a coffee shop. I was singing the song "Creep," and I got to the high part in the middle of the song, and I'm hitting it, and it
Right.
doesn't
What
sound
the
like
hell am I
Tom York.
doing here?
Mickey, shut up. Go ahead.
I don't
I
belong
was
here.
saying, it doesn't sound like Tom York. It sounded like Chris Eakes, and then everybody was reacting to Chris Eakes singing it, and I realized like that's my tone, that's my sound. And then once I identified,
Mine is
where that
fingernails
was,
on a chalkboard,
Yeah,
but it's mine and I fucking own it.
that is
to each
that,
their own, you know. Yeah.
that is.
No, I
true.
mean that's how I found. That's what my voice sounds like to me.
it does. It
It's
really
like-
does.
It's just
I don't-
so
I don't like-
annoying.
I don't like my voice.
But I found my own voice, and that is my voice. So nobody seems to mind it too terribly. So.
That's exactly it, man. Listen to Tom Watts, Tom White. Nobody,
Yeah.
nobody cared. He could
Oh, man, I love his voice.
Sing
Bob
the same
Dylan's on
song.
American Idol. You never had Bob Dylan.
Right.
Well,
There
that's
you
part of the new culture too. I mean, our music industry has changed from being talented musicians to being beautiful musicians, and I think that's part of the problem is that we focus more on how somebody looks and the marketability of their looks as opposed to the actual quality of their music and the actual marketability of the music.
I know with all the you know, it really hurts my heart when I see musicians with tracks and all this extra crap. Well, I mean, I grew up with musicians who literally played every note and they played all their instruments and they were in the studio, blood, sweat, and tears and all.
Sure.
You heard it and you felt it.
and the
Where
same with-
nowadays
same with
everything
creating it.
is created in a lab like a monster or
Well,
something.
okay,
and
yeah,
they're putting
okay.
it all together,
No,
and
they-
it's
they
like
basically
no.
rip it off.
I saw a
would
video
rather-
the other night. It was two bands in concert. One was Six Sense, and the band following them was Buck Cherry. So I watched them, and I said,
don't
"This
get me
band here
started.
was formed by record people who said, okay, because kick Miles Kennedy out, let's get this guy with this new look, and they put that together and they made an album and it sold because it's a bass player from Mötley Crüe. And then I looked at Buck Cherry and I said, these guys took a bottle of Jack Daniels, a carton of cigarettes, locked themselves in a fucking basement and wrote some rock and roll songs themselves.
Yep.
Every fucking note of it. You know what I mean? So I agree with what you're saying.
I mean,
Yep,
it's just
absolutely.
so, it's like nobody, the pride that was there and all that, I mean, you heard it. And when they recorded something, they were on it. Where nowadays, oh, we can fix that. We can do that. We can.
Fix it in post.
Yeah,
Clean it
I
up in
can't
post,
stand
yep.
that. I mean, it just it's kind of disappointing, you know? It's like,
Well, just think of the looks of like Janis Joplin today. Do you think she'd get a record deal?
hell.
No, because she don't have the look.
You know the one thing
Exactly.
about
Talented
that's
as hell,
terrible.
could sing like a motherfucker and write like it's her job, but no, she would not get a record deal in
She
today's
knocked
industry
their fucking
because
socks
it's
off.
based on looks.
one thing now, like at the loft when we recorded, it's like, the old producers like do it 70 million times, video stories, and you get
Your
people
John
who-
Mutt Langs
people
and
really just break your balls. And like
Rick
we're up there and
Rubens.
I'll be in the booth and how'd that sound? Oh, it sounded good. Why don't we give it one more?
Do you like that one?
It's a nicer
You want to
mentality.
keep
No,
that one?
like,
I don't
we're
want
with
that
Andy
guy.
and Chris, both of them are like, that was good. Why don't we just go get one more?
Let's do
just
one
in
more.
case.
Just one more.
Just in case.
We got the good one. Let's just get one
that was
more
good.
just in
Now,
case.
99
It's
tracks
like-
later, you
that's
might
like
find the
doing it.
first
That's
one was
like doing it.
gold, but
'Cause, well, in December we went up there and I had tennis elbow, and thank God, because not thank God I got hurt, but I got up there and it was fine driving up, and I get up there, and all of a sudden the day we're in the studio, I can't play. My fingers will not fucking work.
I've learned how to play with neuropathy. I can't really
And I'm
feel it
trying
right
to lay
now.
the bass track down, and Andy goes, "Do you want me to
Extremely
play bass?"
painful,
I'm
but
like, yes, thank you. And Chris too, he played guitar on the songs because he's a brilliant guitar player too. I just kind of sat there and was like, okay, I get to sing, and then I was singing, and everyone's like, that was good. Your voice purr too? I'm like, or you go around the drummer, and you act like you're picking stuff off the floor, and you go, what are you doing? Picking up all the beats dropped.
Oh, geez.
And if I could lend something to that, what to tell the next
Please.
generation of musicians, it's drop the ego. Don't think that you're the greatest, because like we can go in there and we can say, hey, that riff sucked, and nobody
Right.
takes offense to it.
Right.
And when you get
Yeah.
personally offended by somebody saying, don't play that riff, that animosity that's created from that's not healthy.
Right, when
Just
when
let it
um
go.
I'm like, whatever works for the song, whatever the
when
song.
preferences
Exactly, the
take
benefit
over,
of the music.
I'm
you know.
glad to let people sing or do whatever. It's just like go in there and say, told Chris, like, if you play sometimes at the end, it's like, do what you want, and see what works. And we tried, how many times have we tried
But you
that
said
for-
call and response, and you said
Well, no,
you're
kept
working
going.
for the
That's
song.
amazing.
You're
I
not
was
working
just-
for your preference of how
do
you
we
want
do
to
that,
be
Chris, at
technical.
the studio last time? Because I know you went in the booth and you were trying something.
I went in, I took a shot of Jack, I went in, I sat there in front of the mic, and then I did a couple takes,
man.
and it was very vanilla. It was very safe. And then Andy said, let's just, let's keep doing it. You got a couple good ones, let's keep going. And then I started to uncork a little bit, and then he hit me with that, if you're just going to keep getting better each time, we're just going to keep recording each one. So we kept
that's
going
the
until
guy-
we finally
that's
got
the
to
guy
the
to
point where
record
we
Like,
were
try
comfy.
something different, and I'm like, I'm
Yep.
sitting back in the chair, and you could tell when he was right, when he got it, because all of a sudden I come out of the chair, and Andy at the same time is on the console in front of me, yeah, and you just knew it. It's both at the same time. It
And
wasn't
then,
like
and
one
then
goes,
that,
yeah,
and then
yeah,
that,
one
that
goes, yeah.
vibe changes into something. That's what
Uh-huh.
that's what the magic is. I keep using that word. I can't
there's
describe
no
it
other
any
feeling
differently.
Like it in the world. I've done a lot of stuff in my lifetime, and there's no other feeling when you're in a room playing, and it just clicks.
It hits.
It's like,
Yeah, it hits,
Right,
clicks.
and the same could be said when it's
right,
not
and it's like,
clicking.
you know, Andy doing lead or whatever. I'll be like, sometimes I'm playing like this, I hear this in my head, and he'll come up with it, and yeah, that's it, you know. Or like I was trying to high rip that staccato thing one time, and he's like, I don't think it'll work. Trust me, it'll work. And I played it for him. He goes, yeah, that actually does. You know, and then he'll show me a couple different ways to do it, but
Yeah,
it works. You know,
that's
it's like
cool.
We all know it's like, you know, the first time I recorded up there, I was worried about, well, okay, if I don't like something, fight for what if you believe in it, fight for it. I've never had to do that up there because
I'd never played the lead till my last
well,
to
it's
my
like,
last
it's like
recording.
my songs, you know, and then giving somebody else, because I basically hand myself over, be like, Andy, you're gonna arrange it, do whatever, let's do it.
Right.
But if I don't like it, I've always been no, this stays.
Yeah, he's got final say, absolutely.
Right,
But he's very
right.
generous as far as letting us collaborate and letting us put our flavor into his
I
I
music.
told my producer I can't play leads. I've never played the lead, and he said we don't use the word can't in here.
Everything's turned out so well.
What
I've
can you
never
do?
had to- Someone go,
That was
this
my
needs to
first
go
lead.
out of the song.
It sounds
I've
cool.
never had to do
Right.
anything. It's like when I write, the songs tell you when they're ready. The songs absolutely tell you when they're ready.
That is
And
awesome.
the vibe up there with everybody is, every one of us looks at
I just finished some 20-year-old songs and recorded them. I thought when
I
it,
did that keyboard riff.
wasn't
on
ready
Lost
yet.
Law. I think I wrote that in '86, so that tells you. You know, it's a
that's
long
cool,
time.
man.
Well, Chris, I really appreciate you calling in. This is
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
We've
It's
only
a-
got
it's a
few
pleasure
more
having you on.
minutes. And Mickey, shut up and let me finish the sentence. I have to tell him to shut up. I
Shut
have to tell him
up.
to shut up all the time.
When somebody tells me to shut up, I
Shut
shut up. Because that's one thing.
God,
Sorry, I've been
damn.
married for
up,
almost 20
shut
years.
up.
I'm used to that.
Annoying.
Yeah, they'll play something.
Chris Eakes. Huh, yeah, I will. Hang on one second. Okay, so Chris Eakes, thank you so much for calling in, and hopefully we'll get to see you in September. Oh, you
Yeah,
gonna be in
right on.
Chicago? Is he going to be in Chicago?
No.
Sweet
Are you
home
doing- Are you
Chicago?
doing the Sponge Show in Chicago on the 26th?
Double doors? Or,
No,
or
I'm
the one
actually
across
booked
the
out in
street?
Seattle that day. Sorry.
Well, hopefully we'll get to see you in September. You know.
Yep, I'll bring the whiskey.
Officially, unofficially. Right.
That's right.
I will
appreciate you guys
officially
having
bring
me
the
on,
whiskey.
and thanks for supporting original music and
Definitely.
for supporting local music. That's awesome with you guys.
All right. Well, thank you
Absolutely.
so much, Chris.
Thank you, brother.
You guys
All
have a
right,
great
talk
one.
to you soon.
Have a great night.
Bye bye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
You guys play. We've got like 5 minutes.
Playing.
You guys play now. You guys play.
Do the videos.
from the Feel Good album of 2021.
There we go.
Damn good.
So, a couple things going on this weekend. Charlotte Pub, where all the best musicians play, and the music matters. Friday, Justice is served.
Say it like you mean it, woman.
Thursday night is a badass open jam session. I do not know who's hosting it this week, but it's going to be awesome. And then Saturday night, Sunset Strip is playing. And then let's see, Diamond Music Hall.
Open jam, there'll be open jam people
Open.
playing.
What,
Sure,
Saturday
I'm
night?
not
I don't know who's
the
playing.
smartest man in the world, but
All right, so tomorrow
you got
night.
nothing on that one. Wow.
Jesus. Well, I'm just in the middle of
Radio
talking.
silence.
So we have an open jam at Diamond. The jam that was at Parrots is now moved over to Diamond. It's Tuesday nights from 8 to 12. Everybody gets to play. That is Steve Hall, Rob Sherman, Bobby Taylor, and Kevin Lehman, and John Eschenbrenner. And I am.
Five ain't bad.
Yeah. Huh? I know.
Just
And
giving you
then
trouble.
Friday night, Four Place playing
They're
at
all
Diamond.
great players.
Saturday is Tres Hombres. ZZ Top tribute at Diamond Music Hall. So,
ZZ Top.
yes. And
I thought it is now Tres Hombres.
it doesn't matter. Danny Floyd, you are
They
playing.
kick ass.
Friday night at Shea, Maryland, with my
With-
friend Lance Griggs
And
in
your-
Alton, Illinois.
Lance Griggs?
Lance Griggs, yes,
Okay.
from a
And-
band called Crazy Chester.
Okay.
And the name of
I
your,
haven't heard
and
them,
the
but
name
I'd
of
love
your
to check it out.
collaboration is called.
Lester and Floyd.
Very cool.
Thank you so much.
And where is Dirty?
That's
And where
why
is Dirty
my
King
grandfather's name
playing?
was Chester Floyd Bullock.
Where is Dirty King playing?
I'm not at liberty to say, but look for it this summer.
He's not.
As soon as I can release this, I won't shut up
You
about it.
are not
But
playing.
we got something really, really cool.
Is this a Frankie Muriel deal?
It's not, but if he's got time and he's in town, maybe I can,
He's
Figure
not,
that
he's
out
not. He's not producing your newest venture.
He is.
That's awesome.
You gotta wait 3 albums before you fire your producer.
You're not gonna fire him.
And I'm doing singles, so I can hang on to him for quite some time. No, hopefully here in the near future, I will be doing some music with Eric
That's very cool.
and friends
Eric John Veri, Danny Floyd in the studio tonight.
in the flesh tonight.
Whoa, 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 whoa. And on the phone.
No applause, just throw panties. I don't know
Nobody
that's me.
wears those anymore.
Thank
Annie
you.
Patalan
Fucking
and
Lord.
Chris Eakes on the phone. So that's very cool. So, all right, Eric, and then on the 26th, Sponge is in Chicago.
Yeah.
Where are they at?
Was it WC Social Club?
WC Social
Okay,
Club.
yeah.
Let's call Andy and ask him.
Is it the WC Social Club?
We're just going to show up. And, of course, we got to thank Tweezy for putting up our asses all night long.
For how many episodes now?
72.
72.
Episode
Give me
72
a microphone.
in the can.
72.
We already did 69. I don't remember who
Gave
was
me a
on.
microphone.
That's all right. So we will see you next week. I do not know who's on yet, but you know.
Okay, so should I bring my my half stack and my guitar or something, just in case there's nobody?
What? Really?
Yeah, I
We
see
don't
you
even know
do
if
it
you're
with
gonna
other
show-
people,
we
and
don't
you've
even know if
never
you're gonna
asked me
show
to
up.
do it. So
We don't
and
even
I'm
know if
not
you're gonna
offended,
show
but
up.
I'm just gonna throw that out there like that.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. Let's take a picture and get out of here.
Let's do it.
So
Thanks for being here, guys.
thank you. See you next time. Oh.